So the question is, should we be excited for Unrecord?
Where the fuck is Oscar?
Let's get into it. Alright, now I know I'm late to the party on making a video about this quote-unquote game, but I don't usually make these types of videos for I'm normally a VR channel and mostly post, videos of VR. But just like many others, this has caught my attention, and this game was shown off about 6 months ago, and now the developer's back with more footage to show off to us, obviously. And instead of me, jumping on the hype train like everyone else did and going to Hype City, I wanted to wait a bit for the hype to die down a little, to take a step back and, to finally decide if I was going to do a video on this or not, and pretty much take it from there. And just like everyone else, I was, super hyped from the gameplay footage that I've seen, from the old to the new. But then I started to think, maybe we shouldn't all just get super hyped up just yet. This game isn't even close to coming out, close to release. As far as I can tell, it's just a tech demo at this point. Pretty much just showing us what is possible, what could be possible, and what this developer is currently working on. And maybe in a couple of months, we might get a demo, maybe not. But we'll see. But for now, I wanted to be pretty much the voice of reason, the one of the few channels to reel in the hype and give my opinion on this so-called game. So the question I asked at the start was, should you, the viewer, any of us, be excited for a game that's super early in development and doesn't even have a release date, don't even know what year it could be coming out, any of that type of stuff? So yeah, for me the answer is yes, but also no. Let's go over reasons why yes, for this could be the next game that blows all our minds when it drops and we play it, and it could be the next new era of first-person gaming, where Activision, all the other big companies are taking notes and coming out with new features and new modes and new stuff and going towards more ultra realism, kind of like they currently are, but improving upon it. And maybe this is a new era of gaming, and we'll finally get out of the modern gaming thing going on, as a lot of people are calling it. So hopefully it's the next renaissance, the next new era of gaming, besides VR, AR, whatever. Which brings me to I would love if this game got VR support, but I highly doubt it will. But even if it doesn't, don't worry, because it's on Unreal 5, I believe, and there's a mod coming out soon by PerryDog. So if you want to try this in VR, hopefully this mod will allow us to do that. So we'll see. Anyways, back on track. On the other side, the answer is no. For we don't know how long this game has been in development for. And from what I can tell, it looks super early in development. It looks like pretty much a tech demo, just showing off the possibilities of, again, what we can do, what's possible. But again, early development, don't really know. But yeah, the dev is showing off, real in-game engine footage to, prove that it's a quote-unquote real game. But I know I'm going to have to say this is going to be a dumb hot take, but I don't believe this is a real game yet, if at all. And I won't believe it is a real game until I get to play a demo of this so-called game. For if the past few years haven't been a good indicator of fake, not real games or underdeveloped games like Anthem, Cyberpunk, and whatnot, then the past couple of months should be, for we get stuff like the day before, constantly pushed back, mismanaged, and just overall a disaster for it. We all know what happened to that game, that so-called game, quote-unquote, because, it's been pushed back and everything, and now there's a whole copyright issue and everything of the title of the game. It's just so dumb. It's being pushed back to November, and it's probably gonna be pushed back again. So there's that. Take that as you will. Now, I'm not here to just be a negative Nancy and say this game is just fake, not real, never coming out, for I don't have all the information. I'm not the developer. I'm not the person making the game. I'm not on the team or anything like that. Honestly, I'm hoping the best outcome for this game. That is a big success, massive hit, everyone praises it. And I really do want to believe that this game will come out most likely next year, if not later. If sooner, that would be a shocker. But I hope it just blows everyone's socks off. But we have to address the other possible outcomes, from the worst to, well, the best. Worst being the day before. The best being a new massive era of first-person, super realistic, tactical, shooters. That type of genre. So let's address this now. The worst outcome, which I said before, the day before, pretty much never happening, never coming out. But we can't really say that for sure, because there's still like a speck of hope, a little dust of hope for a November release for that game. But let's go ahead and skip right over to the second worst outcome, that being development hell. The constant game that's been announced like for a year ago, and we don't ever get new information for it for like a year or two, and then it just comes back, and then either the developers tell us it's canned or development's still going on, and we finally have enough of a concrete answer to finally tell you guys, yes, development's still going on, we're still developing the game. We'll give you more information, more footage and whatnot, and then it's kind of like a back and forth thing where it's like, is it gonna be coming out? It's not gonna be coming out. Everyone thinks the game is dead. All that type of jazz. And either the game eventually comes out or it doesn't. And when it does come out, it's usually a giant flop. But a good recent indicator of games that's been in development hell that came out and isn't just a massive flop is Dead Island 2. That game was in development for what, 6-7 years, maybe less. I believe for 6-7 years. I can't remember the last one that came out, but it's been in development forever. It came back like 5 times, disappeared, and yeah, now we're here. It's out. It's finally out, guys. Go play it. And people are enjoying it. Some people are saying it's a disappointment because, of course, other better zombie games have come out with, better movement and whatnot, like Dying Light 2. So yeah, there's that. Now let's go ahead and address the third worst outcome: underdevelopment. By that I mean, games like Anthem, the last Mass Effect, and of course, the famous of them all, Cyberpunk. We all know how this goes. Developers overpromise things and, don't deliver a lot of stuff. And the game's just undercooked with buggy mess, terrible controls, or many other different things, bad cutscenes, textures are broken. We all seen it before. So, yeah, the game's underdeveloped, has less content, has less this and that, and requires a lot more development time, like Halo Infinite and all that. And, fans are happy, people aren't happy, and we all either hate the game and forever, or the game slowly builds itself back up to being above mediocre, and just, once it's finally near completion, the developers have fixed most of the bugs and added more content, all that stuff. It's like, yeah, alright, y'all did good. Alright, cool. Moving on to the next thing already. So yeah, there's that. But of course, last but certainly not least, early access. Yes, I know, we all hate it, we all dread it. Early access games, one of the worst things for, developers, is always going to early access. For as many channels that'll tell you, going early access is practically Unless you know what you're doing, unless you can pull it off, it's pretty much suicide for your game and whatnot. I mean, not all games are bad going to early access. Some games that come out the other side and shown that going to early access could be very beneficial for the game overall, and can still grow a huge community and people still love it and enjoy the game for what it is and how it turned out. So there's always that. But let's go with, I guess, one of the other kind of most likely outcomes would be the game comes out and it does either mediocre, it's like doesn't do much new, doesn't do much to wow everyone, like this and that is cool, but it's like, yeah, just alright, cool. It's tactical first person shooter with, body footage cam. That, or it's above average, it wows a lot of people but doesn't break new ground, doesn't do too much more. And then of course you have the last one is just wow, amazing, over the top, amazing story, amazing gameplay, amazing effects, amazing sound design, all that jazz, amazing new ways to play first person shooters and all that jazz, which I don't really think that will really happen, but we'll see what the developer and possibly development team is going to be adding to the mix, adding to the genre of first person shooters, either revolutionizing a new era or just making a good game overall. But yeah, guys, that's all I really wanted to say on this video. Is just don't get too hyped, don't get too excited. Wait until either we get a demo we can try for ourselves, which kind of doubt, but either wait for a demo or just wait for the review channels to get their hands on the game when it eventually comes out, and they test it, they show all the cool neat features or go over this and that and tell us if this game is worth your time, worth your money, all that jazz. I know that's thinking way far into the future, but again, indicators of the past should tell us, yeah, let's not just keep getting excited for the next big massive trailer or next big gameplay and tech demo. Like, reel it in a bit and take this with a grain of salt, and you can still enjoy what you see, you can still enjoy the trailers, the gameplay, all that stuff, be excited for what might be possible, and have optimism, but don't get carried away. Don't go into that constant route that we always go into, or at least the majority of people go into, which is they see the latest newest thing, get super excited, and end up disappointed. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Tell me what you all think. Tell me your opinions. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this or want to see any of my other content that I post on here. And support me on Patreon if you want to keep this channel going and want to see me do YouTube absolutely full time. And yeah, I'll keep a close eye on this game and see what happens in the near future. But yeah, as always, remember to take a step back and enjoy life, guys. See you in the next one. Peace.